Hey, so we're in the middle of a power outage. Um, I'm lucky that my building's not affected. I don't normally take a bath in this swimming suit, but I was kind of anxious to try on this Michael Kors to see how it looks. And I was talking to myself, and I was like, why not talk to you guys? So I was laughing about how to handle men that have, oh, and I'm sewing, men who act like babies, basically. And I'm using invisible thread. It's really fun. I've never used it before. I like it. Well, it's a little hard to thread and get it to stick into the fabric. Basically, I cut off the vinyl liner of a jacket because it was shredding, but I thought it's a little vest, but I thought it was still worth saving. But it's also just like a fun sewing project because I like sewing. It's very calming. I can't even tell you what was on my mind because I'm too shy and I would never speak like that to anyone else. But I was thinking of like, how do you be sort of reductionistic about handling men when they become arrogant boors, or how to just confront them on it and handle them basically. And then I was thinking of who has never been an arrogant boor to me, which is rare. Because men are super enculturated into arrogance and condescending attitudes. Then I was thinking about my friend who is suffering um, some health issues and had put some demands on me that I could not meet. And then I was thinking about what my deal is with other people's substance use and how it annoys me. And I'm mad at CBH right now because the director clearly wants to criminalize and incarcerate the homeless after watching that work session. That was so horrendous last week. That ruined my week. Where I found out that everybody in the homeless service provider wants to call the homeless service resistant. Oh, I guess Ken Hansen didn't. But special rules. Special rules. And I was like, even Jerome is using the term service resistant. I'm on my third cup of coffee. I got the really good coconut creamer from Deals Only. So when I wear my hair in the top knot, I look horrible. And half of the time, I really actually want to look horrible because if I look good, somebody would probably want to hang out with me. And I want to be alone. I miss going to hotels with spa stuff like sauna or even whirlpool or whatever. So I got diagnosed with postnasal drip. I thought that was something they only had that in the 1920s. I thought it was like, in other words. Oh, and back to censororama. Really contemplating hard why somebody wants to perform in public and censor all YouTube's said performances. I mean, you could look at it as a fun little cyber troll game. That's one way to look at it. And then I was thinking, oh, free speech for you, but not for me. I get it. But the narcissistic artist doesn't really tend to think of the filmmaker as an artist. Yeah, that's what I discovered in California. But you know, cheers to all the cool people that were like, oh my god. And even I think Rainison on YouTube commented on my Mississippi Studios footage of Junion. So thanks for supporting me, bro. Compared to some of these other like fussy artists and like trying to ascertain what their drama is it that they don't have like a million views, so they therefore feel that my piddling footage with a shaky hand and a bad camera is like degrading their talent, or and I was told that my footage was endangering this person's safety, and I was like, no, maybe it's your choice of materials, or maybe it's your fashion choices, or maybe it's that you're not ready to play in public, or I don't know, or But then I'm like, what are the deeper meta meanings? If I'm older than someone, I owe them a duty of care to be kind of a nurturing spirit. And so I was kind of like, okay, like, I'll do what you want me to do. Hey, where did I put my scissors? No, there they fell. Okay. So, never made a bath movie. I love baths. And I love that scene from the Royal Tenenbaums where Gwyneth Paltrow is taking a bath. But I mean, I didn't watch the whole movie of that or Vanilla Sky. I think I went to half of Vanilla Sky and half of the Royal Tenenbaums because I was like, this sucks. And then I went to Royal Tenenbaums and I was like, oh, okay, I'm here. But felt like I wanted to be frank about something. Oh, I did a ton of workout yesterday. I went like with my 5-pound weights, like a bunch. And I like walking my friend's dog. That's cool. Nobody has power. Yeah, this is a... Ooh, look at these little ties. It's got little ties. That's so nice. But black is always good. Always good. Power dynamic. One of my favorite homeless people smiled at me yesterday. And actually, should I talk about girl drama? Girl drama. You know what? The girl who I thought I had the top crush on totally knows who my actual top crush is. And I was like, wow, you cut to the quick. But I mean, women are beautiful and intimidating and frightening. So this girl that I like, she threatened to kill me, and I was like, oh man, why do you have to be like all the psycho dudes? And so I really better not hang out with her. But some people talk that way because it's like they were raised in abusive alcoholic families, and I was raised in a mixed abusive, non-abusive family, or like not all the way, all the time abusive. But I'm so lucky. And definitely not actively practicing alcoholism, just learned behaviors from second, third-hand Irish Catholic alcoholic madness. Why is my voice deep? This is the post-nasal drip, or the change of life. So I was also thinking I should sing a song that I typed the lyrics up for, because this person who I was going to their shows was like, yeah, you can record me. Okay, and then I was like, okay, cool. And then they were like, no, you can't, now you need to remove them. And I'm like, I think I should have just hidden them better and never given her my name or number or something. And then it's like, it's a fine line between, I want to celebrate your talent, but I'm not here to get censored by you. And that elderly district attorney wants to call YouTube wiretapping, so it's very Watergate. And I was like, oh, I could sing that Beth Gibbons song cycle that I really like, that I discovered right after George died, and that would be entertaining. Then I was like, oh, I could sing quoi. Quoi de votre amour ne resterai pour les ondes, toi. Je me dis, I'm not good with lyrics. Oh, cruel, oh, duel, tous et sans merci, tout, la chose des hommes, celui fait l'homme, pensez-y, et qu'on soit l'amour à la vie. So my friend who was in the Desert Storm told me all about it last night. It was really, I guess it was both stressful, intriguing, and kind of like exciting. appreciate gore and violence, but I'm fascinated by it. I sometimes hate this type of animal birth, but sometimes I love it, and it actually blows my mind how I'm trying to soak my toes and everything else. I would like to soak my hair. My impetigo broke out along with my lymph nodes, along with my post-nasal drip that I just found out I had. And I'm like, oh, my dad really had that. That's why he was always having weird, like, swellings in his throat, and he was, like, allergic to everything. My dad is so, he was so obviously a Stevens from Georgia. A sickly man. But my mom was hardy. And, oh yeah, the Don't Feed Merry Thanksgiving. Ozark and Aaron are so very negative and trashy. Negative and trashy. So I'm trying not to get down in the gutter with them where they want to wrestle. The thing about a pig is the pig likes it when you get dirty. Wrestling with a pig, everybody gets dirty, but the pig likes it. So, I've just, in some ways, it's like being promoted. It's like, oh, okay, my cover's blown. I'm the one who blew my cover by reporting you for your civil rights violations. The thing is like, okay, $170,000 out of your budget. Well, truly, it's not a full, like, nuisance ordinance, closure, extremely much better facility run by extremely better people. It's not like the whole works, like the Dream Division, the place for sex offenders, the place for women, the people for place for couples, places for people with dogs, like locking safety, security. It's not all that. It's not. But a little gutting of their budget took me a minute to, like, what is this? Is this Trumpian? What is this? Oh, I see. It was a county determination that the state funding was having accountability issues with Lifeboat. They haven't done their paperwork. They haven't done their filing. We don't know the current updated board. We don't know if the judge is still goofing around on their board, like doing his conflicts of interest with his cases. We don't know. And since I'm BB, I gotta play nice. I'm not trying to be the jerk. Because there aren't that many people with law degrees in Clatsop County. So we have to be nice to our little conflict of interest, judges, prosecutors. Okay, so my video exculpatory. I wish I kept it. I don't have a huge hard drive. I don't even keep up with my saving data. I kind of wanted to expunge the pain and slow down on my gut instinct that I needed to make a bar complaint on Scott McCracken. I was like, slow is worse. And when I found out he was sleeping with a bunch of people up at his office, I was like, oh yeah, so we're supposed to trust you with sex crime prosecution, Mr. Quid Pro Quo. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's going to be a doozy. And you know what? The nice thing about making the bar complaint is I don't have to pay for the file. I get that all for free. It's a perk. And you know, just because he's homie's drinking buddy doesn't mean that homie's just not taking care of him like a wounded bird or using him like an asset to get all the data. Scoop all the data about the corruption, non-competence, incompetence, non-competence, non-compos mentis. And you know what I have been doing? Yes, they really did reward me by not kicking me out of the courthouse. So instead of hanging in the slum basement with the guy who left all the dead bodies in the Reno Lake with his big scary dog. Oh, and I found out they mistreated this chick. They set her up on false charges, kicked her out, blah, blah, blah. Because she's like the last remaining Smurfette. And now there were, and then there were none. So the lifeboat prosecution agenda against their clients, stupid, stupid. Oh, but they love it. They think like, oh, we met because the crew and so we get to like prosecute everybody. If you don't follow our shelter rules, everybody get overcrowded and uncomfortable right now. And kiss up to Ozark, Jason, Iraq, dog beef from Gresham. And you know what? I'm so happy they're getting. No, I wouldn't say they're getting their just desserts, but I'm like, okay, I'll take it as a victory lap. You're not getting as much money because you're not accountable for that money. That's taxpayer money. Therefore, that's fraud. That's embezzlement. And when Ozark and Aaron went to the county and they were like, tell us which salaries we should cut. It's like your own, bros. Cut your own 200K, like over extreme. Let's be rich off the homeless salary. Well, this homeless don't even touch your facility, or they do so with a grain of salt at their own peril, just so they can get your own food poisoning. Anyway, try not to be so opinionated on that. Patrick Stoffel told me to fuck off, which I had told him, hey, I don't consent to being cussed out in my ear. I worked with him for it seems like 5 years, I don't know. Yeah, the first time we ever talked, I believe, was in 2020, and I was like, hey, you need to stop cussing out like Governor Kotak, or whoever was the governor. Was it Kate Brown back then? I don't know. And he was all like, who are you? And then we just were like video chat friends in COVID. But he was really spiraling after he saw like a person dying outside the library in Portland. But he just got some pretty good footage on his Instagram reel with Ellen Rosenblum. But it's kind of a repeat performance of her denying any knowledge of Willamette Week Backpage. I mean, you gotta love the cats that do that. David Keith Davis did that. Coin News did that. Now Patrick Stoffel. It's kind of a tradition. It's just like everybody gets to capture her claiming to know nothing about how her husband was running sex trafficking ads off of their allegedly wonderful journalism at Willamette Week, where, you know, my friends get their little housing development story covered by Nigel Jockeys. And I emailed Nigel Jockeys on that. There's a ton of stuff Nigel won't say. There's a ton of stuff that this whole state needs way more. I think Nigel is good. I don't know his coverage of the Neil Goldschmidt matter, actually. I think he was a little lukewarm. But I can't recall. He's older. So my bath is getting a little cooler, but I'm still kind of balmy. So, you know, let's just switch gears and talk about conditioner. This stuff is amazing. So I would say ideally I want the shampoo and the conditioner. Currently I'm out of the shampoo. It makes my hair like so deal withable. Is that a word? Like it detangles, conditions, silky, sets off the smoke alarm probably because it's chemical gas. All right. This one I just scored at the Catholic Church. Color Perfecting Purple. I really don't like the purple trend. My homie from AA's wife was passing out her fancy, what do you call this, doTERRA, the expensive stuff, but it smells really greatly like lavender. The Shikai tea tree is amazing, but will burn your eyes. She was passing that out too, and I got the other one, the Shikai lightning conditioner. They're like way too many conditioners. This is from the Catholic Church Rummage Sale, Occitan. Thanks to Evander Reeves from Scotland. His lovely Scottish mother had a taste for high-end French toiletries due to whatever long-term French. This stuff smells good. This is argan oil. This is what I went into college one day and said to my friend, I was like, my hair has good performance today because I use this. It's like cheap, but my hair behaves nicely. So it's like, the smell is like, so kind of masculine. This stuff smells amazing, like I could eat it. And they pass it out for free at CCA, but it'll be really good for shaving. And it smells like, basically it smells so over strong, there's a whole crew of people on the internet who hate the smell of it because the other smell is better or something, but I love it. It's sort of musky, like my Beredo and Motel type, really expensive, woodsy type of a smell. Oh, I love it. And this is okay. It's cherry blossom cheap, but this one has the most. It's like the Catholic Church too. This is black vanilla, luscious. It's what is it for? It's like cha-cha-cha. It's kind of trend. No sulfates, no parabens. Aloe vanilla rose. The black vanilla recipe. I don't know what makes it. I thought it was special. It's basically Castile soap, but really, really thick. Rosemary, lavender, aloe. Some not so natural preservative type things. Smells amazing. Kind of reminds me of the Tom Ford Black Orchid palette. I love fragrance. So I was feeling really conflicted about my obsession with the Paris Hilton Aries perfume because I like, is it her, or is it the smell, or is it the time that it evokes, or do I hate it, do I love it? With Carrie and chick name, the person that begins with S. Loved it, and I gave it away, and I want to give it away again, and I love giving fragrance as a perfume. Let me know what you want. And I wonder how long the internet's going to be out. So Pluto gave me her some of her makeup. That was so cool. Their makeup. Pluto gave me his makeup. Anyway, that's another trans haul, is like when people change their gender and give you all their makeup. And as far as my own transness, nobody can tell. That's one thing I'm feeling. Yeah, totally dudes. And then I was laughing with my friend who I went to court with about how everybody thinks we're like probably lesbian lovers. And that's hilarious. We were getting a kick out of that. And this guy I like freaks out with jealousy about my bi-ness. I'm like, you're bi too, bro. Why? And you know what? He needs to start freaking out. But I just told him I don't want to talk to you while you're drunk. Not only do I not want to hang out with you, I don't even want to talk on the phone. Because I'm kind of like, so you decided to drink tonight instead of hanging out with me. You wanted us to be stupid. And then I'm like supposed to like chill. It's like mood swingy stuff. It's like not as bad as George, but kind of headed in that neurocognitive liver cirrhosis direction, which like the foggy thinking is really irritating. Okay, those are my legs. So, what's in my head? Oh, it's the Pink Love. That song is so good. Well, this is going to take forever to sew this. Clark Fry got Tyler's charges dismissed, and Tyler was like on a high from it. But I now think Tyler's just kind of resettling into his new normal, which is still irritated with his predicament, which who wouldn't be? He's a runaway from Texas, and I like Tyler. Tyler keeps asking me to spend the night, and I'm like, I don't know how to just tell him, Tyler, you're too hot to spend the night. I think he'd be like, he's so cute, but he's just so immature. And I've decided I'm not interested in people in their 30s. That's too young for me. They're so immature. And they're cute. They're often very cute. They still have a fresh bloom of youth about them. But I remember being in my 30s. I remember what was up. It's a lot of a life stage of like searching. See how my glasses are slipping? I think that's the humidity. I think my lymph node situation is getting slightly better. It might have been the steroidal nasal spray, which I was going to take this morning, but I was getting like nosebleeds, and it's probably really toxic. My friend told me you gain weight from steroids. For the postnasal drip, it like dries you up, and then you're supposed to not have as much lymph node swelling because you're not reacting as bad against all the drainage issues. Oh, and then the freaking heartburn stuff I've been having lately, which I think I can't take pain meds, and by which I mean acetaminophen or the long-acting one, the diclofenac. Diclofenac is something I got for my knee injury from tripping on the horrible Astoria sidewalks that always hurt my knees when I'm running too quickly with the poor terrain because they don't maintain the roads and the geological issues. Okay, that's a good tie. So the invisible thread is kind of nylon-y, so it's a little more slicky and slippy. So I'm gonna double tie it. Totally entertained by making a film. I was thinking that the reason why my friend wanted me to delete the footage is that they actually hate their music. And it sounds horrible. Or they hate how they look. But they said, oh, you're physically endangering my safety. And I'm like, no, actually, you're the one playing in a club. If that endangers your safety, what do you mean? But like, I'm supposed to be super sympathetic because I'm like the person who is sympathetic to the violence that perpetrators do. And I'm like, yeah, technically we can all be stopped. But like, I don't know how bad it is, and it's almost like if I did know how bad it was, I would be like a little bit more, be able to understand more, and I kind of do already, but I'm like, man, does that mean we have to just like burn all books, or? And then I'm just like, no, is this just destructive artist thing, or is this self-destructive stuff, or is this you're gonna change your mind next week, or is this you're secretive because of your star sign, or is this? Well, I'm not going to another show. I mean, if she like comes outside my window, plays, that'll be a show that I'm at. But like, I'm not going. I'm not going, and I'm not filming people's concerts to be nice if they're going to be so ungrateful and like privacy complaints. I'm like, oh god, could it be my freaking snarly activist persona? Is that what you're trying to distance yourself from? Or is it just geographical, like you don't want to be known to live here? And I'm like, well, good luck with that. Like, Antelia's will blow you up, but she seems to be pretty good at censoring. So, like, oh wow, a troll. You're now trolling my channel. I'm trying to get shit deleted. Cool, you're now my troll. And I feel like the whole premise of like harassing customers, where if the bar were like, oh no, camera use prohibited, I'd be like, oh really? And you know, I even thought of it like, what? It could be a security cam. It could be a helpful cam. And I do have like a security mindset from time to time, but anyway, I don't really like taking a bath in a bathing suit, but it's the correct way to do it to make it PG-ish. Oh no, my boobs might be PG-13. What do you think, guys? Not PG-13. Happy Hanukkah. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to send a cease and desist to myself. So I could tell someone's annoyed, and then someone's getting over it. Because someone needed to get over it. Because we are in the badass club. And the softy stuff has to quit sometimes. Stop being such a damn softy. And so that's what I figured out. But I like have revelations. Like I'll be deep in thought about stuff, and then I'll have new revelations, and I'll be like, aha! And guess what I figured out? Someone got hurt because someone is jealous, but someone has conflicting feelings. So someone was also happy and hurt at the same time. And how people can have conflicting roles with conflicting opinions at the same time That mystifies me. And then I felt horrible because I was like, oh, I don't want someone to be hurt. I do want someone to feel a little extra security. I do want someone to be happy. But I don't want to worry them. And I know they will always worry. And I've seen the darkness overwhelm. And I've been forced to silence between us. I've been forced to, because it's the correct thing to do. Then I was like, stop worrying. It's a 20-year haul. Just make it to old age. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Worry not. How about 8 years? Make it through the next 8 years. Can I stay in one place, in one town for 8 years? That would be a lot to ask of someone. I think I could. I could learn to be kinder, more judicious. No, but you can be judicious when you're like in the face of supreme injustice. Like, it's super unjust to have civil rights violations at a homeless shelter in this story. That's super unjust. And that's unjust to the taxpayer who's being duped. It's unjust to the homeless themselves. So what little I can do is usually bring some leftover t-shirts from the clothing donation with free pile or something, like a suitcase. Taking care of people, but I have to take care of myself. When the people start driving me bonkers, I have to like draw a line, and I can't endanger myself due to my sympathies, and I have to be immune to beauty. And I'm not going to allow a certain level of alcoholism or drug addiction in my closest range. I am not going to do it. That is my commitment to myself. And whoever might be doing that, however much I might love you, can piss off. Because I can watch Train Spotting if I want to watch people be off their rockers with stupidity. That horrible case in British media yesterday about the man who crushed the football hooligans. Horrible. Horrible. Try not to be in that situation. It's one reason I really don't like driving is the potential for danger. I mean, I'm a good driver now, but I'm very experienced, but there's quite a lot of responsibility for taking your hands and not something anyone should do drunk. I really dislike the alcoholism culture of those stories where brewery-centric now, we're like doing our breweries. Everybody's so grossly alcoholic and estrogenized with hops and malt. The men are becoming mushy with beer. Mushy men. I want men to find different ways to relax. Say a hot bath. Or a walk. I took a walk and my knees hurt and my feet hurt. Because I have old bones. I think there's a better shoe I need, but I'm not sure what shoe I need. My friend went to Trader Joe's in Hillsborough and then let the GPS send them in a wild goose chase through the 203, which is this horrible, treacherous overpass that doesn't go on the actual coast. It would be like the detour if there was like a blockage maybe on the 26th. That's true. I don't know. Maybe not. Or maybe it comes off of the 26th. Well, anyway, it was my first time there. I got to see where the Jewel School is, where all the coke dealing perverts went to school there. Never been there. Never. Why would I? And it was like, sometimes some people trust the robots more than the humans. And I don't know if I was getting set up to be censored, like, it's man music. but I don't know. They needed to talk to someone, so I'm the person they talk to. Everybody needs to talk to me about their traumatic stuff. Oh, is it 8:20? Yeah, that's the time my next notification comes. You know what's the best part of making this film is I can watch it and be like shaking myself up. I want to show you my hair because that would make the movie so much better, but it would be in the way of my sewing. Okay, so I got that. I'm going to switch it around because... Uh-oh, there's a little water. Uh-oh, I don't have enough water. I don't think it's going to work very good. There's a little water on that floor. Okay. Woo. Woo. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. I'm going to switch to this other side. Okay, that's a cool head thing. See, my forehead is too big. And it redirects frames the face better to have a hat or bangs. I don't wear bangs. I can't imagine they would look good, and if they didn't, it would be a horrible mistake that would take forever to reverse. Kate Moss did it in like the 90s. It's kind of cute, but it's not her. She has a shorter forehead than me. I'm losing my tan. Oh man. See how it won't even go through? Because that's why I'm having to do this loop in the invisible thread, because it's not only is it invisible, it's thin. But I was thinking how nice this would be if you were doing like costume design. So the whole case where we have this bed and breakfast that got colonized by all these ex-cons. So we call it the sex offender bed and breakfast in Astoria. So this guy who's convicted of sexual offenses against children but served his time and is now out, now lives with this elderly lady who's hearing impaired and was saying some nasty stuff evidently. And then the person he was threatening and the person's child basically beat up the pedophile. He's been in jail for a while. It's going to be an interesting court case to follow. And it really sucks because, like, I don't get male violence. I don't. And I definitely am totally creeped out by sex offenders just trying to reintegrate into society. But I feel like the quick to anger type personas, like, people get so quick to anger. And, like, even if people, like, come up to you and say shady stuff, like, I like de-escalating. And also, I'm starting to realize that I can't. Ooh, it smells so good. It smells like Polo Black. Thanks to my friend, got me some more of that. Because I gave mine away, or Louise, who's dead now, stole George's. Of course I miss George. That's what I miss most about George. Can I say this on the internet? I miss his love. I miss his love. He knew it too. And, like, anyone who gave me shit for loving George, and, you know, I think that's what was perfectly obvious because he wasn't rich. He wasn't polite. He was very good at cutting. I miss him so much, and I think about the last hug. Last time I held him in my arms when he began dying on April 14th. How I helped free him. And how I kept him chained to the earth with these artificial medications. He called them counterfeits. I'm not taking your counterfeit pills, is what he told me the last 5 days of his medication refusal, approximately. I kept it meticulously calendared in case anybody ever accused me of medical neglect. Oh, and who would do the medical neglect? The lifeboat shelter would not permit me to deliver critical organ-saving, medically prescribed medication. And they admitted this to, like, a bigwig at the Bureau of Labor and Industries, Chris Lynch. It's like, you're actually telling a top lawyer at the Civil Rights Division of the Bureau of Labor that you would deny a homeless, disabled, terminally ill man his medication because of your vendetta at his partner who is a whistleblower against your sexual harassment of homeless women? OMG! Somebody's like, hey, your California accent. And I'm like, yeah. Got a Tennessee accent, a California accent, a British accent, a Minnesota accent. I don't know what a Montana accent is, but I really have that too. What's a great song is Fatal Jams. Well, is it Marion Bell or is it Fatal Jams? Or did they make a different brand for that? It's Marion Bell from Fatal Jams, from Bowery Beasts, song with Sam Marion, Bad B Words. Seems like I want to hear it right now. Oh man, but we got no internet. Do we have no internet or do we have internet? Come on, tell me. I think we might have internet. Do we? What about all these people that get electrocuted by trying to do stuff in baths? I'm not plugged in. I would just drown. No, I don't think we're having internet. Well, never mind. Well, I'm telling me the story. Ooh, oh yeah. Well, I am what I'm so broken. And I'm just waiting for you to tell me, show me a sign. Bad bitches is the one I like. Hold you down to the morning light. I love everything every turns to rose. She's in control. No, you know the silver lining always turns to gold. You know that's something to behold. Everything she does, it turns to... They paid for my vegan dinner at this vegan restaurant called Sage and drove me around in their Mercedes. I was going to be picked up by some Mercedes in LA, that's for sure. One time Nikki and I were picked up at Los Feliz, but we were just taken into, I don't know even who was driving. I was hanging out one day with some guy who knew Gustav Estes from Stockholm, and he's like, yeah, he was just this hippie with a flute, just like fooled around and made a little money doing a flute solo. Before I became Dunyan, you know. I was like, oh, that's my Irish accent. So I lived in Ireland when I was 19. I am what am so broken. So Marion Bell has a real name, and I think it might be Jeremy or something like this. Something, a nice Jewish sound to it. Barry Goldberg is somebody I was so obsessed with. I get such a damn boost from Aries. I need Aries, and I know other people need Aries because they have such a zesty flavor for life. And they, like Perry Farrell, they have like a very, like, and my friend who's a Pisces on the Aries cusp, kind of. It's like the end tail of of Pisces where it gets a little Aries-ish. What can you do? What can you do with them? Pisces are so neat. They're so wonderful and so difficult all at the same time. And what about my cusp? My cusp, the shy side of Leo, the reclusive side of Leo. I have a lot of friends in that area, and I find us rather prosaic and boring, but rather predictable, rather comprehensible compared to everybody else. My flaws, I dislike them in other cuspy Leos. You know what I really is. I've had like a July 23, a July 24, a July 25, a July 26, a July 27. Best friends. Yep. Oh, July 25th. Yep. Did I say that? Yep. I've had a lot of best friends in that region. Taurus. Like, why you gotta be so aggressive, bros? Like, Patrick, or... You gotta be so aggressive. Frightening. But, you know, I gotta say, Patrick kept me pumped up for the night George died. He stayed on the phone with me the whole damn time, missed his appointment. I mean, our attraction, of course I'm attracted to him. He's a gorgeous redhead, but I was like, where you're like, oh, you must be kidding. You can't really be that rude, can you? And I'm like, yeah, he really is that rude. And it's getting worse. It might be getting to the senile dementia stage of rude. And he hates women. He always has. He's had this weird thing on women for like so long. Due to his mommy complex. So I was like, the second I become somebody's target for their mommy complex rage, I'm like, he wanted to call me and be like, hey Marion, I'm sorry I was a prick. I'm trying not to cuss in your ear. I know you're a stalker. I mean, like, he's the one who called me. He's the one who yacked my ear out for 4 hours a night. It was a lovely, good time was had by all. First time I told him I was attracted to him, he was like, and I think that's just where, like, age and maturity factors are a problem. That's the weird part about being 48, is about all these youngsters interested in me and all these oldsters interested in me. They look at me as that savory widow. Somebody texted me, I love you, in the middle of the night. Like, you're scared of the dark because the power went out. So you love me? I don't know, it could have been a hippie kind of love, you never know. You know, this pair of jeans I couldn't wear onto a bus in LA unless I wanted to, like, have a new boyfriend or something. They're so foxy. They were like gray jeans. Ugh. You know, I wish I had all the things on the internet in my computer. This is way you need a power outage. Ugh, this invisible thread. For one thing, my eyes have gone to hell. So how old I am. I didn't do that. Oh boy, did I lose my thread? I sure did. No, there it is. Where are you stuck to? Okay, thread. Invisible thread. Ooh, that would be a good title to this long-winded film. Invisible threads. I was joking around with my friend who's an attorney, or I don't know if he's a friend. It's the person I joke around with on text message sometimes. But I was like, I need you to send a cease and desist on behalf of this artist, but you're going to send it to me. I was like, yeah, I'm going to commission the cease and desist, but you're going to send it to me so I can delete their music from the internet. So I took out, evidently she performs under her legal name. I'm just like, just get a stage name if you don't want to botch your legal name. I'm like, do you want to be famous or not? I already sent your stuff to my friend in LA. Like, and then, you know what? Some people don't want to be famous. They're like talented and they want to be secretive. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty crazy. But guess what? I don't want to be put in that situation of being, you know who was really controlling about media, or like really not getting the whole internet age thing? Benjamin Clementine, who married Helena Morrissey. And you know what? I still secretly recorded his music, and I put it online. And I had the only copy, extant and findable, of his song Quintessence, because I had smuggled my camera into the Seattle venue and recorded it anyway. And there was such a weird, cool song about the Brexit that was probably a one-time thing he made up on the spot, that hopefully somebody else recorded a better version of it. But you know, one day, when Grateful Dead heads like have every single Dead concert recorded, somebody's gonna thank them. And so, you know what? I was getting so annoyed at my friend for their censorship request that I'm like, Uh, you know what? Kind of like, it almost seems like narcissistic to be like, I'm so good that I need to be this secretive because I'm going to be this stalked. And I'm like, yeah, you're pretty hot and you're pretty talented, but it's 2025, and I think their generation just hates the internet and or testing the limits of control and the whole like, I'm going to do whatever this Foxy Dame tells me limit. Because I'm like, yeah, she's used to getting what she wants. I kind of like that in a woman. And I don't usually capitulate. One time I capitulated to this really beautiful trans person, changed their gender and didn't want to be under the gender that they were on my channel. And I'm like, you know what, that's historical. Like, but because we were talking about such really, really sensitive subject matter of like dangerous amounts of racism and whatever, I was like, fine. And I hate deleting anything. I ran into a filmmaker friend of mine yesterday, and I was like, you wouldn't have touched it. You would have just written it out. Because like a privacy complaint, basically YouTube's gonna look at it and be like, you're filming a concert in a wine bar? That's not a privacy thing. That's like fair use in a public place. Fair use in a public place. And if I didn't put their name, I would feel bad that I'm not giving them credit. But now that they're all paranoid, I took their name off of every single video. I haven't given them a suitable acronym other than, or like pseudonym other than music. And then I was like, how much are you on the run from what? Like, I get it, you're on the run from bad boys. Bad boys suck. But is it like your parents? Are you on the run from the law? Did you do something criminal? And they were talking about leaving the country anyway. So maybe they will. And I think I did some downloading of some stuff, and I'm like, probably move on and not even care anymore. And I was like so annoyed by the whole process of having my YouTube channel threatened, which I haven't had it threatened in a while. Thank you, because I try not to work with people that threaten my channel, which is why I have to like star in all my own films, because I'm like the only one nice enough not to send myself cease and desists. So my lawyer friend was like, so do you want to cease and desist? And I was like, yes, please. And then I was like, wait, to me or to her? Because he could send one to her. Like, would you please stop harassing this lady's channel? And he's like, to you, of course. Okay, yeah, I definitely want to cease and desist. But YouTube's been mostly on the side of freedom of information, but maybe even to a bad extent, they probably been. I mean, they've been really huge for transparency with accountability with law enforcement. So you gotta love the YouTube and freedom of information for that. And I'm like, this is just music, but what if this were some police force trying to like delete my footage of someone being horribly mistreated or something? Like, fascism has dangerous implications. Where's my movie? I have to pee. I'm not gonna pee in the bath. So. Adios. Adios to